Okay. So specifically, we can start with understanding that there are okay in Python. Like I'm giving you an example from the beginning. Like we are doing a print statement, right? In Python, we are like doing some print and a string. But suppose we want the output to be constant, means like somewhere stagnant in the static memory. So static memory, I mean the second class memory, and by second class, secondary memory or second class memory, I mean hard disk or SSD. So, hey, what's the full form of SSD? Ask, do you know? Very good. So, solid state drive means that it is non-volatile. So, non-volatile means when you power off your computer, power off your PC or laptop, the memory stays intact, which is not the case for your RAM. RAM is random access memory, and there are different types of RAM: DDR4 RAM, DDR5 RAM. DDR stands for double data rate, and then again, there are SDDR RAM, single data rate, bus data rate RAMs. Okay, whatever. So, the memory needs to be constant for these kind of files. Okay, these files are stored in your secondary memory. If I just go on and show you, so like if you simple LSBLK, which is a little command, it will show you that there is data currently attached to my computer. So currently you see that there is this called SD1, which is like a 32 GB memory card. There is this SDB, okay, which is a 512 gigabyte SSD, which is connected to my computer. Again, there is an NVMe SSD, which is internal hard drive, which is connected to my computer, and it contains the partitions for booting and all this. Okay, this is currently my Linux system. So hope you can understand there are different types of things that can be connected, right? Now, if I do LSBLK minus F, it will also show the labels and the different kind of file servers or the file type. So you will see that the SD1 is in VFAT, okay, and it is in exFAT. So exFAT means this is external file architecture time, which I think I forgot the full form of FAT. Just a second. If you open the browser. So full form of FAT in system. So this is file allocation table. Okay. So exFAT means extended file allocation table, and I think VFAT would be. Let me check. Hmm. So VFAT is virtual file allocation table. Okay. So if I just go ahead and check my file system here, you will see that my SD card is VFAT. That's the virtual file system memory, file system table, file allocation table. And my NVMe is BRFS and VFAT. Okay, there are two different tests. This VFAT is for my boot partition. Okay, that is about 21% filled. And then in my like BTFS system, I have used 172 gigabytes. Or I think this is, no, this is actually left out of this. So this is about 63%, which is, let me see. Yeah, 63%. So yeah, 63% is completely failed. So I think that's good enough space for me. So it is internal hard disk. Now, whatever file they are going to write, there are two different kinds of files that not even two, there are multiple different kind of files. Oh, by the way, let me show you my promise to so that you can understand. I told you that file system or the file name doesn't matter in Linux or let's say in any of the operating systems. Okay. So if I just go to my Windows folder, I think I've done this like last time. Can you remember? So you will see that there are lots and lots of different videos. Say I take VLAN GUI. Okay. VLAN GUI. So if I just open the VLAN GUI MP4, now this is how a video file looks. Okay, this is completely different, right? Guys, can you see the thing? Yes. So this gibberish, do you know what this is? This is actually a video file. This is completely in binary containing raw video stream data. Okay. And if we just go to the last line, which would be But okay, I think it's not possible to see the numbers. So set numbers. Sorry. So it contains 1,51,533 lines of data. Okay, just a simple 2 minutes video contains this many lines of data. Now, let's go. Okay, let's go to this and suppose I do one thing. I'm going to do one command. Basically, what is a cat command? It prints out the data and I basically transfer the output to something like, okay, let's take who's next to the data. Hans Kumar, right? A-N, your spelling is A-N-S-H dot K-U-M-A-R. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically copy all the data from MP4 file to a Hans Kumar file. Okay, now if I do Hans Kumar in the file, if I do a web, you will see that this is exactly the same data or the data from this MP4 file. I'm copying it to a रैंडम क्या बोलते हैं रैंडमली थोड़ा सा अजीब नाम का कुछ फाइल है ठीक है अंश कुमार नाम का एक फाइल है उसमें जो है मैं इसको लाइक आई जस्ट हैविंग इट ओके फाइन गॉट इट okay there is one issue here let me just a second that was the properties saying that I need to convert it to mono close I think that's the improvement that's okay now I have done completely copied the contents to this file. Okay, if I do an ls, you will see that there is this file on the spot. So I have a question to both Somojit and Hans. Okay, will this file be able to will this file be a video file? Can I run it using a video player? Is it possible to run this file? Nahi, right? Okay. What about Somojit? What's your opinion on this? I think yes. Okay. Nikhil, you don't need to answer because he has already seen this multiple times. Let's use PHP okay. And basically let's open it and it runs. It runs. The video runs. Okay. Yes, but you know because I showed you. Think about you did not know this. So it will run. Okay. So Angs, got it? समझ गया? Okay. So in essence, this extension doesn't matter. Whatever is there inside the file, that data, and the way that data is formatted, that is what matters. Okay, वही ठीक है चलेगा ओ हाँ ना 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 random whenever I'm saying that random data doesn't mean it's random it's specifically like written in binary okay it's not in binary that's a good question so whenever we open any of these files now our editors try to interpret to 0 and 1 and basically they gets converted to some like some of these keyboard strings okay because the editor tries to make sense of this binary data these files are not meant to be opened using text editors you need to understand that so uh, see the text editor needs to put out some text on the screen right that means the data inside the file the data, so the data inside the file presents something else. It presents a video frame, but that video frame is also there in binary, right? Excel, it will open the binary file and it will try to put out the text. Now it will like basically segment out the 0 and 1 in different way than a real media player will do. Okay. And because it is segmenting out or let's say reading the file in a different way, it will have its own interpretation of the zeros and ones. Okay. Because it wants to convert it and show it in form of text, not in form of a video file. So that's why you will see that these are some random, it will feel to you that these are random characters coming from the keyboard string, the keyboard, like keyboard values, keyboard strings. Okay, that's the issue. So, good question though. Why is it not 0 and 1? Right? Shalika? Okay, guys, understood? Okay, let me check the string if the auto power is still there. Hmm, is it still there? Okay, my audio issue is still there. I don't know. For like since yesterday, I'm having this audio issue and I'm still unable to figure it out. Okay, maybe like for these two classes, the stream won't be there. Okay, classes won't be recorded for today's session. Somehow, कुछ error आ रहा है. Okay, now next continue. What is a binary file? So a binary file is basically a sequence of raw bytes. Okay, means 0 and 1 and all this thing. And you try to put out any kind of data in the binary into the file. Oh, by the way, because it is first class, Anks and Somojit, you haven't done the basically reading and writing. So there are different modes of reading and writing, which are R mode, W mode. So R means read, W means write, A means append, R plus basically means write plus or an advanced writing mode. And then sometimes in Python, this is often, matlab R plus is written as T as well. For binary, you will just add a B after this modes. Okay, fine. Okay, this is a question to Niket. Yeah, ball. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. No, like that I can understand যে তোর issue হচ্ছে that the binary file will be in some format which is not human readable, right? And that's perfectly fine. Understand that binary file is not meant for humans to read. Okay, it is not meant for the humans to read. It is meant for the computer. Okay, yeah. So just a second. Where is the Python compiler for this? Compiler name. Oh, if I press the compiler, I get to interpreter. Yeah. So just a second. Why is it? Whatever I'm choosing this thing. So the question to you is, what is the difference between R and R plus? Niket will explain. Bro, bro, you are giving me the no, you are giving me the difference for F6 and F money. F6 when you just do 0 and 1 and stuff. You're giving me a completely different function. Yeah. So what? I was supposed to take the exam on file programming. Okay. So what are the difference, by the way? Okay, so the difference between R and R plus is basically R. Okay, first thing is correct that he said that it's read from the beginning. That also R plus भी पहले से ही फाइल करके उसको beginning से ही पढ़ता है, ठीक है. The difference comes is suppose the file doesn't exist. So what will happen? So what will happen if the file doesn't exist? Yes, very good. Then what about R plus? Will it show error? Because it opens in both reading and writing mode. Okay. R plus will open the file in both reading and writing mode. That's the difference. Okay. Fine. A is happening. Okay. What is the difference between A and A plus? Yes. Yes. Right. কি অবস্থা? পড়. That. Okay. Let's go over it. File modes. File modes. See. Right. Come on. Right now the English is working. Like in the evening class it was not working. So good. Mm, yeah, this is a good one. See, W and W. Okay, wait. This is not calculating. It's right. W plus plus will be here. It should be W plus. Wait. Mm, I don't we we can use this one. Yeah, this is from medium. So if anything is from medium, it has high probability of being correct because uh, there are articles in medium that okay, even I have one article in medium. My friends also have some articles. We tend to write articles in medium. So generally, I trust medium a little bit. So no, the thing is that there are different modes. Okay, so R basically means read mode. It opens an existing file for reading. Raises an error if the file doesn't exist. Okay, you get it? But now both are plus. See this one. So it opens the file in both reading and writing mode, and it can open like an existing file for both reading and writing. And if it doesn't has the file, then it won't basically throw an error. Now for writing mode W, it creates a new file for writing, but if the file already exists, it will get overwritten. The W W plus this also like, basically it can not only do the writing but also can do the reading. Okay, so if you want to use W like write mode, you won't be able to read. Like read means the exec function when you use for like basically editing characters out of a file that won't be working. Okay, these are different modes in Python through which you can basically edit files. So let's say add information to a file or delete information to a file, create a new file, and all these things. Okay. Now, append mode and append plus. You will see that there are two modes, A plus and A. So the append mode and append plus has the difference because it can also open A plus can also open a file for reading as well as for appending the characters. Okay, and it will also create a new file if the file doesn't exist. X is a creation mode or exclusively creation mode. क्या बोल सकता हूँ creation like there is a difference between execution and creation. Okay, uh, this actually creates a new file but raises an error if it already exists. So this is a मतलब very important point. Means suppose यहाँ पे file if the file is not there then it will raise an error. But this exclusive creation means it will give you an error if the file is already there. You get the difference.
দিয়ে তো কোনো প্রোগ্রামিং করিনি, মানে আমাদের
XD,
আমি
yeah,
তুমি তো আর তুমিও আমায় কিছু দেখাওনি এক্সপি দিয়ে।
no, XD is not that much used. It's not used that much. It's there, but it's not used that much. So
আমাদের
you
স্কুলে
won't find
পড়ায়নি
it.
এক্সপি।
Yeah, in your school, this generally gets overlooked. Even I would overlook it because uh, not really used that
হ্যাঁ,
much.
তুমিও পড়াওনি এক্সটি আর এক্স প্লাস, তুমিও পড়াওনি।
But I gave you the PDF. There you will find that all of this
হ্যাঁ,
stuff
ওই
is there.
পিডিএফটা আছে। হুম হুম।
Yes. But, like basically, the only the things which are required for you. Now then, when you add a B to these five different methods, R, P, W, P, A, B, S, P, okay, whatever, then you open the file in binary. Okay. And in binary opening basically means that uh, it will write it in raw bytes. Means there won't be any encoding or decoding of the information. Okay. Now we can go back to our task and the things that we have prepared. This is there is no encoding or decoding on special handling or characters. So what you write is exactly what you store, byte for byte. Okay. Means there is no change in the information that you do. So in a normal text file, you will have different kind of encoding, like UTF-8, UTF-16, UTF-32, UTF-256, or whatever. Oh, by the way, by UTF, I mean, okay, I can give you an example. Let me think about it. It was eight. Uh, so it was emoji. I actually forgot the socket for my. Can you just find the emoji? Emoji was yeah, all E. Super all E. Now, these are the emojis, right? Like in your keyboard, you will find a lot of these emojis. Now, say I have something like a face severing or face with tongue out, blank statues. These are emojis, right? Have you ever wondered how these emojis are encoded in your keyboard or let's say in your data? Have you ever thought about it? Like, let's do an example. Let's try it out. So, if I just go and do to random, that's the folder I have. So I suddenly got back to the detector. Okay. Frame emoji put. Okay. And I do this, and let's say I take one emoji and I just pasted that emoji. Okay. This is visible right there. I just pasted that emoji. Okay. Now I'm saving the file and I want to do a cat. PMJ. Right. Okay. Now the terminal is showing this as this smiley face this has because the terminal is able to understand UTF-256. You will see, okay, like let me do fast fetch. You will see that my terminal has a lot of different. Wait. Hmm, is it? No. So you will see that my terminal has a lot of different fonts installed. Okay. Like Tokyo Qt Flat Remix GTK3. It has the Bibata modern font and all these things are installed. That's why it is able to understand the difference between UTF-8 and UTF-5. Now, if I just suppose go back here and now suppose I do so this is the thing, byte data. X a 48x 65 all this okay. This is basically written hello. Okay, this is writing hello in ASCII character. Oh, by the way, do you guys know what ASCII is?
হ্যাঁ, 11 এর ফার্স্ট চ্যাপ্টারই তো ছিল।
No, no, I'm asking about Anks and Sumoji. Do you know what ASCII is? If you don't know, it's fine.
No, no.
No, okay, fine. Let me first show you. Wait, let me first show you the one that I emoji one. Okay, uh, I'm emoji normal text file. suppose I input the request. Nah, just I don't need it. Suppose the info equals to control C, C, and now what is the file name? So let's get the file. Okay, let's open the file. Which open into the txt. Let's open it in W mode. Okay, right mode. Now, mm, so file is and let's just read it. Okay, print content. Yes. So this is how this looks like. But now let's not do it in W plus. Let's W mode. Let's do it in WB. Okay, and then do it in RB. Okay, now let's do it. See the error. Byte-like object is required, not STR. Okay. Wait. That is which one? This was not actually one error. This was converted. Just a second. Which is required, not STR. So let's not try. Oh, this has to be in this. So let's just yeah, that's true. If I just delete this, delete that, I think it will still have. I think we can encode and decode it.
তুমি কি না টেক্সট ফাইলে মানে বাইনারি লাগাতে চেষ্টা করছো?
Hmm. No, the thing is that can we actually do it without encode and decode function? That's the point.
এটা আবার কি এনকোড ডিকোড?
Yeah, we can't actually see this. See this. This is the error. No, I was just checking. Like I suddenly had an idea of checking out what is the ASCII value for this emoji. Okay. So I'm going to what ASCII is. So in your computer, it is not able to read these emojis. Okay. The hardware will never understand what this smiley face is. It has to be encoded or decoded. Okay. And there has to be a uniform character list for it. Okay. So if I just go to Google and just say what is the Unicode for this smiley face, you will see that the Unicode is U plus 1F600. Okay. This is the Unicode which the computer will understand. Okay. And if you go back here, because we are putting it in this kind of like manner, this is a smiley face, and it doesn't understand what the heck is this. Okay. It expects byte-like object. Okay. It expects something like this. Okay. This is written in hexadecimal, by the way. This is hello, which is written in 48
এটা
x65.
ব্যাকস্ল্যাশ এক্স লিখে দেন বারবার।
This is in hexadecimal.
হেক্সাডেসিমালে তো এক্স বলে কোনো এলিমেন্ট আছে না? লাস্ট
Hex,
এলিমেন্ট তো এবিসিডি ইএফ
no,
জি আছে।
ABC, no, this is backslash. This means this is in hex. Okay. Okay, by the way, for someone I need to
ও
first
আচ্ছা।
explain the ASCII table. Can you give me 1 second? ASCII table. First, one by one, because we need to cover like, so that they can also get on the same page. Mm, back. Okay, hex. Is it visible? थोड़ा सा not that clear. This is not clear.
थोड़ा सा ब्लर है भैया।
हाँ, blur है. I think this is very clear. Yeah, see this one. So, what's the ASCII table? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Intelligence. I think I was telling you about this in the last verse. So, in zero, like if the hex code is 00, it is null. Now, if you go and check the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the keyboard, it has been translated into some hexadecimal code. which is 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. All these things are your hexadecimal code. Okay. And like if I go to the, let's say, with hex decimal, you will see, I think this one is a better one. Yes, this is a better one. Which, okay, can't do anything for the blur, right? Man, adjust a little bit. So yeah, because this is a good table because all of the things are given. Decimal, hexadecimal, binary, octal, and clear. The actual character. Okay. So the null character is octal 0, binary 0, and everything is 0. But if you go to the character 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, the digits on your keyboard translates to some binary number. यहाँ पे देखो binary 1, 1, 0, 0 कुछ ऐसा है. Okay. And this translates to a decimal number of 48, which translates to a hexadecimal number of 30. Okay. Now, if you go to the characters small a, b, c, d, you will see that it gets translated to some hexadecimal number, or it gets translated to some hexadecimal number as well. Now, in the characters, suppose h is the hexadecimal number 48. Okay, can you see this? Hexadecimal 48, h. Okay. Now, go here. See, hexadecimal 48, capital H. Understand? कैसे आ रहा है?
ये জি এইচ অব্দি আছে।
हाँ?
না না, আরে তুমি হেক্সাডেসিমালটা একবার দেখাও কোথায় গেল?
क्या रहता है?
না, এই হেক্সাডেসিমাল তো স্যার 0 থেকে 15 অব্দি আছে গো। মানে তারপরে ওর একটুখানি বেশি, ওখান থেকে তো মানে কি হলো ব্যাপারটা? যা বাবা, আমি তো ভুলে গেলাম।
Really? Why any number can be,
না না,
this is
আরে
basis, right?
জিরোতে, হ্যাঁ বেসিস তো আমি, না না দেখো বাইনারি দিয়েও তো সে আমি একটা ডেসিমালকে বাইনারিতে ঠিক আছে করতেই পারি, সেটা আমি এফ ই করে তো করতেই পারি। তাহলে ওইটা কি ছিল 0 থেকে 15-র মধ্যে যেটা ছিল না, ও 0 থেকে 15-র মধ্যে
That's
ওটা কি ছিল
hexadecimal.
তাহলে?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, তাহলে ওটা কি ছিল?
So that is hexadecimal. Those are the characters of hexadecimal number.
হ্যাঁ তো আমি জানি তাহলে, হ্যাঁ তো এগুলো তো জানি।
Yes. So yes, that's
আর
it.
হেক্সাডেসিমালে তোমার বিটসের পাওয়ারগুলো 2 to the power 16 করে হয়।
2 to the
দেখেছি
power
তো?
16, কি বলছিস ভাই? Base
2 to the
তাহলে
power
16
16
হয়।
কত করে হয়?
2 to the power
হ্যাঁ
16
বেসটা
হয় না
16
ভাই,
হয়।
base 16 হয়, the base is 16. Okay.
হ্যাঁ 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2 ওরকম চলে। হ্যাঁ এই তো মনে পড়ে গেছে, ঠিক আছে।
That is binary. That is binary, and
এ পুরো ঘেটে গেছে।
16 basically means it should be 16 to the power 0, 16 to the power 1, 16 to the power 2, and all like that. Okay.
টু টু টু, ঠিক ঠিক ঠিক।
For decimal, it is 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 1, 10 to the power, basic unitary
হ্যাঁ
matter.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
Okay.
ঠিক 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 আছে।
Okay, so H E E. Now let's go to see E. E is for E, 65, decimal 65. Now you understand that, okay, let's do L, small L. L is hexadecimal 6C. So it is 6C for hexadecimal. Okay. Guys, do you have any doubts over this byte string of byte data? Do you have any doubts over this? Do you have any doubts? Somaji?
नहीं भैया नहीं है।
Okay. Don't be afraid, ask whatever questions you have. Okay. Now, let's continue. Suppose now you open a file. Now, this is a dot binary file. Dot bin. Okay, binary. Doesn't matter whatever extension you give. First of all, doesn't matter. The thing that matters is this opening mode. This is WB. Means this is open as a binary. Okay. Now then what we doing? We just wrote 5 bytes because this is 1 byte, 2 byte, 3 byte, 4 byte, and 5 byte. We just wrote 5 bytes of data to this data. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with the syntax, with means like under the with operation, like like under the for column. So with is the in like a loop. Okay, it opens the file, then open the file, and then this is the file pointer. This F is the file pointer. Then you basically F dot write means you write something inside the file. Okay, fine. And what you write is this one. Okay,
তুমি
write
এক
one
কাজ
more.
করো, এই বিট দিয়ে
Yeah,
করলে চলবে, মার্কস কাটবে না।
ये কেন
এই
কাটবে
বিট
না?
দিয়ে চললে মার্কস
কেন
কাটবে না।
কাটবে? কেন কাটবে না?
আরে
কাটবে না।
দেখো ওরা, তুমি-
Oh
আচ্ছা
yeah,
যাই
so
হোক,
I
হ্যাঁ
don't
আমি
know
তো
about your school.
হ্যাঁ
Your
সেটাই
school
বলছি।
is different.
দেখো উইথ আর আমাদের উইচটা এখনো করায়, কারণ দেখো স্কুল ডিফারেন্ট না অ্যাকচুয়ালি। দেখো তুমি তো ভুল তো কিছু বলছো না, সেটা টিচাররাও বলছে, কিন্তু সিবিএসসি বোর্ডস এর নাকি নর্মস আছে এগুলোতে মার্কস করা হয়। আমি কি করবো,
No, like, see,
টিচাররা যা বলে।
either the question can be answered in different way. And CBSC, see, I mean, when I taught your senior, like, Utkarsh and yeah, so they also have both different ways and told them to use whichever you want because both of them are correct. Okay, at least like it's a case of 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they already 2 years. Yeah, oh, yeah, 2 years
টু
ago.
ইয়ার্স
So,
না,
yeah,
2 ইয়ার্স
3 years
তো,
ago.
3 বছর না, 3, হ্যাঁ।
Yeah, so they are your seniors by 3 years. So, and I taught them, I told them to do like whatever you use, but the actual formatting and the actual the code must be correct. Or the length of the code must be correct. The syntax must be correct. It doesn't matter if you use web open or use like basically create a new file
এফ
pointer
ইকুয়াল
and
টু
do it.
ওপেন
If
ডাইরেক্ট,
it was open, yeah, it doesn't matter. You
ওপেন, হ্যাঁ ওটা নর্মাল।
yes, it doesn't matter. Both of them got 93 and 95 in computer. So hopefully they
এই
like
সায়র দাও তো বায়োলজি ছিল, সায়র দাও
sorry.
কম্পিউটার ছিল না।
Like used to study
ইংলিশ,
English, English and me.
হ্যাঁ
I talked,
সায়র দাও
yeah,
লোকের শুধু ইংলিশ পড়তো।
yes, yes.
হ্যাঁ
Okay. Next, next is let's see. So when you're binary and then we are reading the bytes and okay, this is another function which is f dot read. F dot read is responsible for getting the out like output. Getting the strings, whatever the contents inside the file, it basically reads those contents and puts it out in the open or क्या बोलूं. It basically just puts out in this variable. Okay, fine. चलेगा कोई प्रॉब्लम है?
নোটেড।
Okay, good. By the way, I got one text that okay. There is an issue with the audio, and I know there is an issue with the audio. मैं इसको correct नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. क्या करूँ मुझे नहीं पता इसका. चलो. Now, after this, what we have? We are basically reading back the bytes, okay, and we are just putting it. But see this, when we putting it, when we do a read back, it is in a B. B basically means binary, and the word that is there is it in hello. If we do a simple type, okay, type, this basically shows that this is of the class bytes, okay. You have seen the class list and class tuple and all this. So this contains information in byte data, okay. And remember, थोड़ी देर पहले I was basically okay. मैं इसको copy कर देता हूँ. I think we can actually have this defined in a separate page. Uh, how do I edit? Yeah, code control B. Suppose instead of let's say RWB, I open it as E, read and write. Now this prints. Okay, this is just like I just added it for understanding sake. Okay, now see this. There is a encode and decode. So if you take the read bytes, that is the bytes that it is taken, and you use decoding function over it, decode can have UTF-8, you can also have UTF-16, okay. And if there are any errors, you can just have, yeah, there will be some errors. So you can basically have UTF-16, and you can just, if there are errors, you can just do an ignore. And if you do UTF-16, see this, you will see the difference. This is some Chinese character. I will just going to copy this. Okay. I'm going to copy it and just see what the character is. This is the thing that you can. Uh, okay. Uh, let's go to translate. Let's see what it actually came up. Effect. Okay. If you use something like UTF-32, that's what we have. UTF-32 never decoded it into anything. So if there are any errors, so okay, basically, okay, just a second. Oh, encoding had 64 is not possible. I don't have UTF-16. Okay. So I can do UTF-4 as well. I think there is a UTF-4. It's a whole architecture. Oh, Python doesn't support UTF-4. Wow. Okay, whatever. UTF-8. So UTF-8, UTF-16 table. So there are tables just like ASCII tables. There are UTF tables. Okay. This is the table. So see the binary. Okay. See the binary. How long is it? How many characters are there? 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2 to the power 16. Okay. So there are 2 to the power 16 different combinations which are allowed for it to represent characters. Okay. And these are the characters which it represents. Like, okay, these are the characters which it represents, and you will see that after 32 it is like exclamation mark and all this, and at around 48 it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because it is following the ASCII architecture. Oh, no, UTF is the modern one. It supports emojis. Emoji. ASCII doesn't support emoji. So when you are sending, so you need to send some good emojis to your girlfriend, right? So you need to send her like smiley emoji, funny emoji, or something like that. So if you were using ASCII, then sadly you would have to use that old like comma, colon, and all these kind of things to send good emojis to your girlfriend. Now you can use funny graphic emojis. Yeah, there are different conversion things. UTF to ASCII. See, there are different like online tools as well, or you can create your own tool. You can, oh, acha, like conversion, uh, conversion logic actually. Mm, it is a 7-bit encoding, which is a variable bit encoding that represents here. Uh, best effort. Okay. They are actually, that's a good question. I haven't done any conversion on this. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe go at some forums on this ASCII format. Uh, these are actually standard tables now. So if there are any correlation, then there will be some correlation. Conversion in Java. Okay, someone posted it. This is an XY problem. What is an XY problem? Meta.stack exchange. Okay. Oh, okay. They have changed it to meta. Okay. device uses an Indian character that assumes one byte is one character. Right. So this is another also by the ISO 85591. This is another format of writing characters. Okay. On system level, these ISO standards are standards given to processors. How processors will handle characters. Okay. But the bytes are not ASCII. They are not ISO at all. The bytes are UTF-8 representatives of text. Do not replace any character. Do not normalize the string. The only character is to revert the incorrectly decoded string back to byte and then correctly decode using. This guy is just thinking with one by one. Okay. Convert the UTF to byte data. From the byte data, convert it to ASCII. That's what this guy is saying. Okay.
Pretty
Mm,
complicated as.
not that much. Uh, Maybe I also need to read a few forums on this because it's a good question. I don't know. I can't give you an answer on this. Now, next part, if we continue on this, but yeah, I will try to answer it in the next class. Next is use case one, that is copying an image file. Suppose you have an image data. Okay. Oh, by the way, we are going to use pill or what you call as pillow. Okay. And suppose you do not have pill or pillow, you need to install it. So let me just do that. If you have to, it is done using pip install pillow. P-I-L-O-W. Okay. Just run it. And yeah, pillow is already installed, so I don't need to worry much about it. Can you just give me a second? Why is I'm getting a call right now? Oh, Adobe is calling. Hello. Okay, I'm going to check on this. Fine. So I already have pillow right here. And now what do I want? I want to have some images. Okay. So by the way, we can create images in Python as well. So what we are doing, we are going to create a new image which will be in RGB format. Okay. And we are going to have a pixel size of 100 cross 100. And we are going to have color. We are going to color it as red. Okay. And we are going to save it as image.save the original image. And then we are going to basically do a simple print. Okay. And then what we are going to do? We are going to basically, well, if I just run it now, okay, whenever we are running it, so to go over here, mm, where it gets saved, that's my question. Oh, yeah, I actually removed this, so let's not remove that, let's not remove that. In the finally, I'm just not going to do it. Now let's try. Okay, there it is. Oh, yeah, if this is in the try and exit block, then I need to have finally, just a second. Let me just do this. Okay. Now I have the image. Let me show the image. So this is the image that we created in Python. Okay. Just a 100. Okay, this is a 100 cross 100 pixel like say image. You want to see the image in my folder. So I want to show it to you in my file browser. I'm going to show it. Just give me a second. File handling. So this is the image that we have created. This contains 287 bytes of data. Okay. And this is a PNG image. So suppose I just open it. This is the image. If I want to show you the properties of this, uh, see this. This is a 100 cross 100 image. Can you see this? Fine. Now, what am I doing? I'm going to go back here. So I have created a 100 cross 100 image, and I'm just opening it or writing the information. Sorry, where I'm going to read the information using the open. I'm handling it as a file. Okay, handling it as a file. And I'm going to open the image and take each and every byte of it and read it and basically transfer it to another image file. Okay. So I created one image, then I open the image, then I'm reading each and every byte from the image, and I'm writing it on a different image file. Okay, do you get it? It got reconnected. Okay. Is this clear?
হুম।
Okay, what about Niket?
अरे আমি তো हूँ बोललाম।
Oh, अच्छा, Anis and Somojit, चलेगा? Yeah, are you guys confused? What actually happened? Are you there or fell asleep? I think they're asleep right now. Okay, let's continue. Use case number two. Just storing the structured data with the struct keyword. Okay.
আচ্ছা
By
স্যার
the way,
একটা জিনিস বলো, এই যে
hmm,
টিআইএল তুমি যে বললে
yeah.
মডিউলটা, এই মডিউলটা কি আমাদের মানে ইমেজ ক্রিয়েশন কি আছে?
না নিজে দেখা তো মনে হচ্ছে এই জন্য আমি টাইম ফার্স্ট
ও
চেক
আচ্ছা,
করলাম
জাস্ট বললাম, ঠিক আছে।
আরে সে তো দেখ আমি এই 11 যে স্টুডেন্ট ওদের তো প্লটিং বা কিছু নেই আমি তো প্লটিং অ্যানিমেশন অনেক কিছু করে আছি ঠিক আছে তো তোকে অল্প স্বল্প তো এক্সট্রা করাই যায়
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
next use case 2 that is storing the structured data with the struct okay so by the way oh by the way, this is also not there in your syllabus so do you want to do it or not
নেই,
struct থাক নেই so pickle নেই
তোমার তোমার ব্যাপার।
io bytes
টিকেল
নেই
আছে, টিকেল থেকে করাচ্ছে আমাদের, টিকেল করা
pickle
আছে।
আছে okay then let's do the pickle
টিকেল করা
first
আছে।
okay then let's do the pickle first so pickle is actually one of those python modules that is used to handle this binary data okay so suppose you have something like this API key. Okay. Like I use my API keys a lot. Okay. I have like I have this thing. So I can show you.
এপিআই কিটা কি?
See this. This is my API key here. It is hidden, of course. I'm not going to show you my API key. And
না না, এটা এটা কি?
yeah, API key is used to connect to let's say ChatGPT like models. Okay. So currently why is it connected to cloths on that? I don't even have the API key for the cloths on it. So whatever. So I would rather choose something different. Like suppose I will choose DeepSeek. So if I choose DeepSeek V3 and this is the model I choose. Okay. I just click it. Then I can ask this uh, assistant to basically code me a file like this. Okay. Or code me or do it for me or something like that. Okay. This is basically AI agent integration inside your coding environment. So a lot of the times I don't like to do a lot of manual stuff like let's say plotting and all this. I have the data. I will just ask it to do the write the code for plotting, to do the write the code for the statistical analysis and all this. Okay. And I could do it like by giving the prompt to ChatGPT, but this is like right there in front of me in the same software, so it makes life a lot easy. Okay, that's the only thing I would use API for. Now, so but these API keys are very sensitive. You don't want it to basically mm, lose the. You don't.
এই ব্যাপারটা একটু বুঝলামই না সত্যিকারে বলতে গেলে।
Okay, you did not understand.
এপিআই
Fine.
কি এর মানেটা কি? তার মানে কি এটা এআই, এটা এআই জিনিস নাকি?
Yeah, AI. I'm connecting it to the AI on cloud. Okay. That's how you should understand. But I need some authentication, right? That I have authentication to use the cloud sources, let's say your uh, AI bot. Okay, I want to use the AI bot right here locally on my system. Okay, I can go to the chat interface and do it. But suppose I want it to understand my own internal file structure so that it will be able to handle and write the code for my own program. Okay, so that's why we use API keys to let the like AI bot handle our local files. Okay, it is like an authentication key. Fine.
ঠিক আছে।
Now, suppose I have some configuration like here inside a dictionary. And what do? I basically open it, like a config file, I open it in binary, and then I basically dump my like pickle.dump. Okay, this basically means जो f write होता है ना, this is very similar to f write. Okay, but in f write you do it for what do you call this? You use the
আচ্ছা,
f write.
একটা
Yeah.
কথা আমাকে একটা
What?
কথা বলো, বলছি এই যে তোমাকে এই এন্ড পয়েন্টসটা মানে তুমি কি এটা ডিকশনারি ভিতরে নেস্টেড লিস্ট বানিয়েছো?
Yes, this is a nested list. Very good. Correct.
না না, ওকে ওকে, ঠিক আছে। না, পিকল
No,
দিয়ে বেসিক্যালি আমরা করিটা কি?
pickle is used to handle binary information. Just a second. The audio is still not clear. Whatever. We use pickle for like handle binary data because it serializes entire Python objects like dictionary and all this into a byte stream. Okay, means suppose, okay, let me tell you something. Go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Here, how I was writing the byte. Okay, byte information. I was encoding it in form of hexadecimal, right? Right. Now, suppose
হ্যাঁ,
whenever I try to do anything, let's say I do something like my name is Shubham. Okay, suppose it there. And then I write. I will get another error because this is not a byte stream. Do you understand? This is not a byte stream. Even if you say that okay, emoji is doing the problem, then do it like this. Okay. Do you understand that this is written in text format? There is encoding happening. This is text. Text is different from byte stream. So you need to pass a byte string to it in binary files. Okay.
আর পিকল কি করে?
Pickle converts this text information into byte streams. Okay.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, বুঝেছি। মানে আমি যদি হ্যালো লিখি, ও তার রেসপেক্টিভ হেক্সাডেসিমালটা করে দেবে।
Yes. Pickle.dump. Okay.
ওকে
It
ওকে।
is able to also do it for dictionaries, lists, or कोई भी चीज. मुझे
মানে
byte stream में convert
তুমি
कर.
যে বেসিক্যালি পিকল, মানে তুমি যে বেসিক্যালি পিকলটা ডাম্প করলে, ও তার মানে ডাম্প যে করলো ডিকশনারিটাকে অ্যাজ আ বাইনারি পুরো কনভার্ট করে টেক্সট ফাইল হিসেবে সেভ করলো, তাই তো?
Yes.
ঠিক আছে।
And you can use pickle.load to convert the byte stream into readable text object as well. Okay.
আচ্ছা।
Fine. Do you have
हाँ
any
भैया।
questions? Yeah. Continue. हाँ बोलो.
भैया मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं तबीयत सही नहीं लग रहा है, मैं क्लास लीव कर सकता हूँ?
अरे हाँ हाँ. It's fine. See, these are extra classes for you. If you want to join, these are open to you. Okay. Not mandatory. Your mandatory classes are offline classes. Okay.
ओके भैया।
Okay. These are open to you. You can join, and if you want to leave, you can leave as well. Okay. Just like you asked me that you are going to leave, just let me know that you will leave. That's it. Okay. Bye.
ओके भैया, बाय।
Okay. So, Mujit, do you want to stay or do you want to leave?
नहीं नहीं सर, मैं कर रहा हूँ अपना।
Okay. This is
তুমি
totally up
অনলাইন
to
ক্লাস
you.
কবে থেকে চালু করলে?
Oh, like both of them live near Iceland, so it's easy for me. Okay. Oh, by the way,
ও
Sumit, one thing I want to say, I stated before I was leaving, I won't be here for around 10 days. Okay. 10 days means from 6th of, what do you call this? 6th of July till around 15th or 16th of July. Okay.
एक सेकंड
So
भैया,
that means one class needs to be allotted beforehand or after.
भैया कैन
Okay.
यू रिपीट, मेरा थोड़ा वो हो गया था।
हाँ, so I'm saying that I won't be here in Iceland. I shall be back to Kolkata from
हाँ
6th of, I shall leave on 6th or 6th morning, okay, 6th July morning, and I
हाँ।
shall be coming back on 15th or 16th, depends on professor. Okay.
তুমি ছুটিতে
Uh,
এসছো?
Not exactly a holiday, see, because I've been invited to presidency for giving a lecture, and in the meantime, I shall also be giving one talk in my school. Okay. So
কি
in
টপিক নিয়ে
precedence,
বলো, কি টপিকের লেকচার, কি টপিক লেকচার?
it's computational chemistry. So I shall be there
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
holding one event. And for school, I will be basically talking about uh, like either Kolkata and also how you basically do prepare for exams and then
ও তুমি যোধপুর বাড়িতে কবে আসছো?
uh, I think I will my presidency talk is on 12th and my Jodhpur talk is on 8th or 9th. I have to talk with the teachers, the professors there. So
আরে
that's there. Mhm. And not only that, I have one more thing, which is basically my professor's father is currently ill. So he asked me to just visit him once and uh, stay for the night. So I have one stay situation.
তোমার হেভি দায়িত্ব পড়ে গেছে এখন।
And no, it's not for one night. He told me to stay for 2 nights if possible. So that's the
ও
stuff.
তো
So,
বলতে পারবে না।
so that's why I'm taking, okay, these are the days. I'm like, okay, I have four different things. I'm going to take 10-day leave and I'm going to travel back and forth between different locations in Kolkata and from Mysore. I will stay in Kolkata and do the stuff and then come back. Okay.
আচ্ছা স্যার, তোমাকে আমি একটা কথা বলছি, এই যে আমাদের যে কি কি মডিউল আছে এটা কি করে বুঝবো বলো তো? না আমাদের স্কুলের তো ধরো কোনো ঠিক ঠিকানা নেই, কখন কি ইচ্ছে করিয়ে দিল। এই ধরো আমি যেমনি তোমায় বললাম, কেন আমি যখন তখন স্কুলে গেছিলাম টিচারটা দেখলাম করাচ্ছে। এবার এই তুমি যে বাকি মডিউল গুলো করালে এগুলো কি সিলেবাসে আছে কিনা তো আমি জানি না।
Okay. Uh, like I'm always following the syllabus here. Like if I just show
তাহলে
you
তুমি
the
আমার প্রিভিয়াস
syllabus.
সিলেবাসটা দেখেই নাও।
Syllabus means সবসময় দেখি আমি পড়াই ভাই। Wait. এটা কোন করে যাবে? CBSE. This is the CBSE syllabus for 11, 12. You will see.
টুয়েলভটা
Okay.
নিচে আছে, যাও যাও।
Database. No, file programming was in the first one. Wait. You will see this thing. Pickle module dump and loop. Okay.
হ্যাঁ
This
দেখো,
thing
পিকেল মডিউলটা আছে, শুধু পিকেল মডিউলই আছে।
and see only dump and loop is there. Okay. Read, write, create,
হ্যাঁ
search,
সেন্ট
and
আপডেট ওসব আছে।
yeah. So all these things. Yeah, already covered
যা যা।
all like high access functionality and all this
না স্যার
binary
তোমরা একটা কাজ
CSV.
করো, তুমি আমি যখন না তোমাকে একটা কথা বলি, তুমি যখন আমাকে ফাংশনস পড়াচ্ছিলে, তুমি
Yeah.
কিন্তু ফাংশনস মানে তুমি কিন্তু আমাকে ফাংশনস ওই গ্লোবাল ভেরিয়েবল, লোকাল ভেরিয়েবল ওগুলো ঠিক বলনি।
Mm, basically function
ফাংশনস
में
তুমি দেখো, না
see,
ফাংশনস
see.
তুমি আমাকে তুমি হ্যাঁ ফাংশনস করে ইউজ করতে সেটা তুমি আমাকে বলছো, কিন্তু ফাংশনস এর চ্যাপ্টার তুমি আমাকে কোনোদিনও শেখাও না। তুমি ফাইল প্রোগ্রামিং করিয়েছো, টেক্সট ফাইল পুরোটা করিয়েছো,
Do you
তুমি
remember your
কম্পিউটার
class?
নেটওয়ার্কস
Okay,
যতটা করিয়েছো
listen. Do you remember your class? Like the classes that I did in uh, this one, December. So in the beginning, I already told you about the
তুমি তো
local and
ম্যাট্রিক্স
global
রোটেশন
variable.
করিয়েছিলে,
During matrix
তখন
rotation,
বলেছিলে?
so yes, because it's there in the classes, like beginning classes. Okay, these classes.
আচ্ছা 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 আচ্ছা।
So and remember,
হ্যাঁ
I showed you different variables like functions in C. This thing like global variable and local variable stuff. Remember that I told you this is a local variable inside this, and the same thing applies to Python as well. How everything is happening. Okay. This is old class. See
হ্যাঁ
that
সেটা।
class two.
ও
So
আচ্ছা, ক্লাস টুতেই ছিল।
yes.
ও যা, তখন ক্লাস ইলেভেনে সব ছিল না। যাই হোক, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই, ঠিক আছে।
No, no, it's
ওকে।
no, the thing is that okay, I haven't repeated it again. It's weird that I remember that when I did it. Okay, I remember that I did it, but like it needs to be hammered down into your brain that you have to do it as well. You have to practice it. Mm.
ঠিক আছে।
How
না
can I
তোমাকে
say
আমি
this?
একটা তোমাকে
Yeah,
আমি একটা সত্যি কথা বলবো, তোমাকে আমি একটা পুরো ফ্র্যাঙ্ক কথা বলছি।
yeah,
দেখো আমি
নিশ্চয়ই।
আমি তোমার যেটা করে যে হ্যাঁ, সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ক্লাসে সবাই ঠিক আছে, সবাই এক
হুম,
হচ্ছে ম্যাক্সিমাম, আমাদের সেকশনটা এক হচ্ছে সব ম্যাক্সিমাম আইসিএসসি স্টুডেন্টস। আর যারা বিপিএসসি আগেও পড়তো, তারা
হুম,
সব 9-10 থেকে কম্পিউটার আর তাদের অপশনাল সাবজেক্ট ছিল এবং তাদেরকে নিতেও হয়েছে। তো তারা
হুম,
6টা সাবজেক্টে পরীক্ষা দিয়েছে ক্লাস 10-এ, আমরা 5টা সাবজেক্ট, মানে ওদের কম্পিউটার ছিল। যাই হোক, ছিল
হুম,
না বলতে এবার কি হয়েছে, আমাদের সেকশনের সবাই কেউই তুমি খালি আমায় বলছো তো আমাদের ছেলে কেউ কম্পিউটার পড়ে না, সত্যিকারে বলছি কেউ পড়ে না। কম্পিউটার আর ইংলিশ সব পরীক্ষার আগের দিন পড়ে। থিওরি পার্টগুলো পড়ে নেয়, প্রোগ্রামিং সবাই জানে বলে ম্যাক্সিমাম ওই জন্য এরা সব ভালো ঠিকঠাক একটা অ্যাভারেজ মার্কস পেয়ে যায়। মানে যাতে আমার শোনো দেখো কম্পিউটারও তো একটা মার্কস আমাকে রাখতে হবে। আমি ধরো
Yeah.
তিনটে সাবজেক্টে বেশি সবচেয়ে পেয়ে গেলাম, কম্পিউটার ইংলিশে যদি ঝুলিয়ে দিয়ে আমার টোটাল অ্যাভারেজটা তো নেমে যাবে না। তো ওই জন্য ওরা ওই জন্য ঠিকঠাক অ্যামাউন্ট পেয়ে যায়। এবার এবার আমার মানে এই ধরো যারা ধরো মানে 9-10-এ কিছুই প্রোগ্রামিং করেনি, এবার তাদের কি অবস্থা হয়েছে, তারা তারা মানে পুরোই মানে যাতা অবস্থা তাদেরকে, মানে আগের দিন পড়লেও হয় না। এবার সারা বছর আবার তুমি বলো পড়বো কি করে আমি কম্পিউটার, তিনটে সাবজেক্টের চাপ তো কিছু কম না না। এবার
সেটা
দেখতেই হবে।
বুঝতে পারি, বুঝতে
আমাদের সেকশনে
হুম,
সত্যি করে বলবো স্যার ম্যাক্সিমাম তোমার তুমি যে আমি তোমায় তো বলছি তুমি তোমাদের আমলে কি ছিল জানি না, বাট আমি এটা পুরো ট্রু ফ্যাক্ট কথা বলছি, আমাদের সেকশনে কেউ কম্পিউটার পড়ে না। মানে এটা আমি তোমাকে বলার জন্য বলছি না, কম্পিউটার আমাদের সব পরীক্ষার আগে একদিন আগেই পড়ে।
না দেখ আমরা করতাম না, to be very honest. When we were also learning computer, we also never used to do it regularly, okay. Because it was an easy subject, and মানে, our teachers were good, to be very honest. Our teachers were good, that whatever we did in class and whatever we did in class was too much advanced, that we later realized for even the board syllabus. Okay. Whatever was done in the boards, our teachers used to do way more than that. Okay. And doing that, whatever was coming up in the boards was like trivial things to us. Okay. And mm, practice we never used to do, and we had C programming. Think about that. We had C programming, not even Python. Uh,
না
and
তা
even,
ওয়েস্ট
mm,
বেঙ্গলে তো ক্লাস 11-এ সি আছে, 12-এ পাইথন আছে।
no, it's C and C plus plus, not
এখন তাই,
C and Python.
না এখন তাই হয়ে গেছে।
Oh, এখন তাই
ওয়েস্ট
হয়ে
হচ্ছে
গেছে।
11-এ, 12-এ হচ্ছে পাইথন।
So in our times, it was C and C plus plus. But whatever, the
যাই
problem
হোক।
is not with me. The problem is with currently you, that how can you manage, right? You need to practice, first of all.
সেটাই।
Whatever I say, that global variable, local variable, all things were done previously, but if you never practice with functions, like where how you can access the different variables, how, which is function call, what is function definition. I think Somojit, in the yesterday's class I saw, like, wrote what is a function call, what is a function definition, right?
I think yes.
Yeah, do you remember what is a function call, what is a function definition?
Not properly, to be honest, mate.
Okay, I get the issue. So here you see that there is nothing like a function here. There is no function block here. But suppose if I go to today's beginning, like today's class for the 11th part, so that was on, uh, was it on mm, operators? So if I go there, I think I also never did any function exclusively here. Oh, by the way, in your like code, while I was writing it, I did make functions, right? Whose laptop I was using? I was using I think that was Ank's laptop, right?
Yeah, yeah. Anshka Thakur.
Ank's, yeah. So if you take the code from him, you will see that I wrote a function definition, function call, when you declare a function, how you declare a function, and how you pass arguments, right? Remember, I passed the number of rows. In fact, and I had a main function and I passed the number of rows. So
हाँ हाँ.
all these things. Uh, I might have
তোমার
so
শেষ হওয়ার থাকলে আমাকে পাঠিয়ে দিও তো।
offline class, offline class.
বস ঠিক আছে।
So
Sir,
the
next
point,
offline class.
next offline I will text you tomorrow and let you know. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Make it Tuesday. Make it Tuesday. I will let you know the timing. Okay.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah. Is there an issue?
Yes, sir. No, no. I'm just
Okay.
confirming.
And okay, let me tell you, like to Somo and like Niket को मैं थोड़ी देर बाद में अलग से बोल रहा हूँ. Especially for Somji and also telecoms, a lot of things that I will say in class may sound trivial to you, like where we are declaring variables, what is called function definition, what is function call. I will just write it that this is function call, this is function definition. What it means you declare the statements for the function is called the function definition, and when you call the function from another function, it is called function call. Now the idea is same. Whatever I just say, you just need to write in words. Theory is not really difficult. You just need to understand what everything means. Okay. And when I'm saying this or when I'm doing that, please try to understand what you are doing. Okay. Like, ask me again and just read up on a lot of these terminologies that you will find in your book or in your, let's say, while we are doing programming, you will find a lot of terminologies. But मतलब क्या बोलूँ, तुम्हारे थ्योरी क्लास में नहीं पूछेगा कि what is function call, what is function definition, what are global variables, what are local variables, what are, I don't know, like these are the kinds of questions that they ask in theory class. And if you are doing programming, you sometimes don't even need to understand those, like the terminologies, because you are more acquainted with the code and you know how to behave. Just write it down in sentence and that's it. Okay. But if you cannot write it down in sentence, then however good programmer you are, in society you don't have an understanding of what you are doing. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So that's a little bit of things like to you, Niket, as well. Uh, you need to basically थोड़ा सा practice करते सोच के practice करो कि what I am doing, what is it called? Okay,
আচ্ছা
fine,
তোমাকে আমি একটা ওপেন কথা বলছি, তোমাকে বলো
sure.
বোর্ডসের কম্পিউটার পরীক্ষার তোমার কত গ্যাপ পাবো, মানে কম্পিউটার পরীক্ষার আগে আমি কদিন গ্যাপ পাবো, মানে ধর কম্পিউটার পরীক্ষার আগে যে একটা পরীক্ষা হবে তারপরে আমি কতদিন গ্যাপ পাবো?
We are going to get a gap. Generally for computer, weirdly enough, there is a bit of gap. Okay, general chemistry and after chemistry, it is computer. Generally.
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, মানে বুঝেই গেছি ওরা কেমিস্ট্রি দিয়ে চালু করবে।
No, chemistry, like it should start with language, English and all this. Okay. After
আচ্ছা
language,
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, তো যাই হোক।
it's followed with the science, maths, physics, and chemistry, and then computer. Okay. It should be something like that.
তো ভালো গোটা দিন সময় পাবো তো? ঠিক আছে।
Uh, depends. So sometimes it's very weird. CBSE is known for its weird schedules. You are going to get like 10 days for computer and 2 days for chemistry. Something like that. Or sometimes you get like chemistry and body computer. Okay. Next day only.
আরে দেখো
Eh,
কেমিস্ট্রি তো
yeah.
সারা বছর পড়ছি না,
Hmm.
ওটাই আর কি। হ্যাঁ
But also, भाई computer के लिए थोड़ा तो time दो. I know this is not your important subject or not important for GE, but थोड़ा time दे दो. You need to score at least 75% in your goals. Okay. And
না,
75,
75% স্কুল থেকে বলছে 90%-এর উপরে পেতে হবে।
of course, they have.
75% কি বলছো? আমাদের স্কুলে কম্পিউটার স্যার বলছে বোর্ডসে তুমি যদি কম্পিউটারে যদি 95 এর নিচে পাও এর থেকে লজ্জার জিনিস কিছু হয় না।
Not
এটা
gonna
বলছে
lie, I
আমাদের।
agree. I agree with her, like teacher.
উইথ
Okay,
হার না, উইথ হিম, আমাদের সব স্যার পড়ায়, খালি
okay,
ইংলিশ টিচার বাদে।
wait, okay. So I agree
হ্যাঁ
with your teacher, and because computer is such an easy subject. Okay, like there is nothing much you need to write here. It feels so much trivial to me, but it might not be trivial to you because I have done this
আরে না,
multiple
দেখো
times.
সমস্যাটা
Yeah.
সত্যিকারের কোথায় হয় জানো তো? থিওরি
Hmm.
পার্টটাতেই হয়। থিওরি পার্টটাতেই নম্বরটা যায়। এই ডেফিনেশন ডিফারেন্স প্রত্যেকটা ফাংশনে তুমি আমাকে এক্সাক্ট বলো না। আমাদের পরীক্ষায় দিয়েছিল পপ আইটেম আর পপের ইন টার্মস অফ ডিকশনারি কি ডিফারেন্স হবে তুমি বলো। সে এত
Yeah.
প্রিসাইজলি কারোর মনে থাকে, এত প্রিসাইজ আমাকে
अरे
পপ
भाई
আর পপ আইটেম ইন টার্মস অফ
pop,
ডিকশনারি।
pop, pop means you can
হ্যাঁ
eliminate
জানি,
any
সে
item from the
পপ আইটেম,
middle,
হ্যাঁ
and
জানি
pop item
পপ
means
পপ
from the
আইটেম
end.
হচ্ছে আমি যেটা লাস্টে যেটা ইনপুট করবো সেটাই অটোমেটিক
Yes,
বেরিয়ে যাবে, সেটাও জানি।
yes,
কিন্তু যাই
yes.
হোক ওই আর কি,
So yeah,
এই
it's
বলতে
very,
সোজা লিখতে ঝামেলা।
yeah, what's like, can't you write it in sentence? It's very simple. Huh?
যাই হোক চলো, বলো বলো বলো।
Okay. If you feel I'm just let me know. Like, I understand
না
that
ঠিক
theory.
আছে।
Okay, okay, I can make one thing. I can do one thing. I can create theory notes. Okay. I can create dominoes for
না
you.
না না, তুমি এত থিওরি নোট বেকার বেকার বানিও না। তো আমাদের সুমিতাররা পড়ে গেলে সব মানে অ্যাটলিস্ট সিবিএসসি তে, আর আমি স্কুলের পরীক্ষাতেও তো দেখছি সুমিতাররা, তুমি বলছো বাজে, আমিও মানছি বাজে, মানে বেশি কিছু থাকে না, কিন্তু
Hmm.
সিবিএসসি বোর্ডসের যা রিকোয়ারমেন্টের যা থিওরি, ওই অল্প করলেই হয়ে যাবে। আমি কেন, তুমি বেকার বেকার অত কেটে তুমিও বা বানাবে, বা আমিও বা বেকার বেকার অত করে কি লাভ আমার,
Mm,
তুমি
okay.
বলো না। আমার কাছে
Okay, if you
সুমিতাররা তো এমনি ফিফা পিডিএফ পড়ে আছে।
see, I told you always that if you want my classes to be basically geared towards exam, I can make it. But you said you want to do extra things, right? You have Linux installed on
আরে না
your
না,
system.
এক্সট্রা, হ্যাঁ এক্সট্রা থিং ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু এক্সট্রা থিং থিওরিতে প্লিজ, আমি এক্সট্রা থিং পারবো না, কত থিওরি কে করবে।
Like
প্রোগ্রামিং ঠিক আছে, এক্সট্রা থিং।
I taught you a lot of extra things in DBMS as well, database management.
হ্যাঁ সেটা ঠিক আছে।
So whatever. Let's continue. Then this is advanced file handling. I think we can go over this partly, or let's actually skip this because you probably won't be requiring a lot of this. You can skip it. It will be there. You can go over and read up. Now this is on CSV and XML files. Okay. Now, what is CSV file? Okay. A CSV file is basically like your uh, Excel file. Okay. Now understand that they are separated by delimiters. Okay. And what are the delimiters? Generally, this is a comma. Okay. Like this is how a CSV data generally looks like. Okay. And you need to import the CSV module for this. Import CSV. Okay. And suppose this is the data which is given in a list of lists. Okay. Now, how do we write it into a CSV? So basically, we open it in the like uh, writers like writing mode, and then we create we create a delimiter which is a new line. Okay. And whenever it encounters the end of the let's say line, it will go to the new line. But let me open the CSV file to give you a peek into how it looks like first. Let me just show you something. Uh,
আচ্ছা ওরও তো বোর্ড সিবিএসসি তো, নাকি আমারই এখানে একা বোর্ড সিবিএসসি?
no, 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 the topic is CSV.
আচ্ছা,
You
না তাহলে আমাদের স্কুলে এত অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স নিয়ে ঝামেলা করে, তাই ভাবছি।
know?
তো তোমার কি মনে হয়, ডামি স্কুলে পড়া ভালো না ভালো স্কুলে এরকম পড়া ভালো?
Good question.
হ্যাঁ মানে তুমি তোমার যোধপুর কলেজে গিয়ে কি স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বলবে, what will be your advice?
Good question. See, if your whole life revolves around one exam a day means, then go to public school and just study for that exam. Study for 2 years, be crazy about it and do it. Okay. But if you can't do it, no, see, there are 20,000 seats. And in those 20,000 seats, there are 3,000 seats for ISS. And in those 3,000 seats, there are only 300 seats for ISS Kolkata. So I had to struggle against 2 lakh people. Now it's 5 lakh or something. 2 lakh people who are like struggling for those 300 seats. Okay. So, like beating 2 lakh people and getting that seat might seem like a huge deal. Like, भाई बहुत कुछ हो गया, मतलब मिल गया. But after that, the hell starts. Hell starts in Ayurveda, the hell starts in IITs. The life in any of the Indian institutes is very different from your normal college. They train every week of like
আরে
dues that you
ভালো
have.
তো ট্রেন
Okay.
করছে আলটিমেটলি, তো আফটার লাইফে তো অ্যাটলিস্ট কারেন্সি তো আসবে,
Yeah, but
তাই যেটা করাটা ভালো।
for that you need to struggle. Okay. And if you're not willing to struggle in that traditional sense, there are other methods. Suppose you're very good in programming. Suppose you're very good in machine learning. You don't need to get a degree for it. Okay. Currently, in our world, there is a paradigm shift from degrees to this idea of skills. Okay. So if you can create something, if you can, anyone can write a paper, by the way. You don't need a degree to write a paper. Like, you don't really need anything. You can submit the paper. But what happens is a degree gives you start ahead. Like, it trains you in writing a paper. Suppose you can be a self-taught genius as well. You have never written any paper, but your idea, your research, or your theoretical idea is so good that if you just submit a paper, there will be people who are going to review it, and they will read the idea. They will check your paper. They will not check your name. You understand that? So there is this huge paradigm shift toward skill-based economy and like this degree-based or certification-based economy. But currently, uh, we are in the middle of it. So you either get certificate or you either get skill. Okay, and certificate means that you have at least gone through the course, gone through the materials. You are decently skilled enough for the job. But if you have to show your skills, you have to show either papers, either projects, either, let's say, work experience. That's the only thing that I'm going to
কিন্তু
say.
স্যার
Yeah.
তুমি তো আর পেপার লিখে তো আর পুরো তুমি প্র্যাকটিক্যাল বলছি। সেদিনকে আমাদের ম্যাথস টিচারও বলছিল যে কি বলে, একটা ছেলে বলছিল যে ম্যাথস নিয়ে ও রিসার্চই করবে, ওখানে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার বা আইএসআই তে কোথাও যাবে না, ও জাস্ট
Mm.
ম্যাথসে ডিগ্রি করো, ও মানে কি ম্যাথস জাস্ট ম্যাথস নিয়ে রিসার্চ করবে। তো দেখো সেটা তুমি আজ যেটা বলছো স্যারও শুধু একই জিনিস বললো। আমি যদি আজ উইদাউট এনি ডিগ্রি বা কিছু না করে যদি আমি রিসার্চ লিখি, আলটিমেটলি আমার টাকা কে দেবে? কেউ দেওয়ার লোক তো নেই। দেখো
Mm.
আলটিমেটলি আমার কাছে যতই স্কিল
Yeah.
থাকুক, আমি যদি সেই স্কিলটাকে যদি কাজে লাগিয়ে নিজের যদি কাজে না লাগাতে পারি, আমার লোককে জ্ঞান দেখিয়ে বা
Okay, okay,
দেখিয়ে
okay.
কি
Listen,
লাভ
listen,
হবে
listen.
আমার?
I get it, I get it. So if you want to get a job, let's say, who's told you that you need a degree for the job? Say you are very good in machine learning. Okay. Then you can take one project which might be very good. Okay. You are not doing it for free. You are doing it for yourself. You are making the project, you're putting it out on the world. Then based on that project, you leverage companies or interviewers, you basically contact the people, you grow your network, you go to LinkedIn, you tag people, you put out a post, you converse with them. And there, from there you can get into machine learning. So what happens is that we had various hackathons and there were people who were there as mentors. Okay. One of the mentors was like 21 years old and he was my age. Okay. At the time I was also 21, he was also 21. So he was my age and I just asked him like, how are you getting like so young, how get into this, and you know what he told me? He told me that he was very much interested in machine learning when he was 16. And I was like, damn, for 16. Okay, this is going to be a funny story. And as he was explaining things like, but he was not good in science, he was not good in maths, and he scored very low in his like class and boards. He was from CBC. He scored like 60%, and he wrote it like MS 1% off from 69%. Okay, so that's a joke. And in his boards, he tried his best, but uh, he could not like, keep up with the science subject, so he chose commerce. And commerce, he also did like 74%. He did a BCom. He did a BCom, and during his like basically COVID times, he made himself learn machine learning. He created projects, and then somehow, like one after another, the projects were good. People were noticing him. Even he was doing his BCom degree. So when he was saying this, he told me that he just completed his BCom degree like 2 months back, and but while he was doing in his college second year, he got invited to Delhi University or JNU, I forgot, for giving a talk. Okay, like how I give a talk sometimes to different universities as graduate students. So uh, he was got invited to give a talk, and that talk kind of leveraged how he grew up in his community. Got to know people, and from there, even though he might have a degree in commerce, BCom, CSV. He later joined, this, what is the, forgot the name, API, Pocket API, or what is it? Okay API आ गया, अरे, this company, forgot his company, like very well known, which trains in API courses in API, like Coursera API, Udemy. I forgot where he was. Yeah, Postman. Yeah, Postman. Now I remember. He's actually the CTO of Postman. Postman. Yeah, Ankit sir. Yeah. I think this is, no, not the CTO. I think this is currently different. Mm, let me check my LinkedIn. I think I'm following him. So if I go to my LinkedIn, by the way, you guys also create a LinkedIn. Okay.
আচ্ছা স্যার।
Oh, I don't know about it. So I got 7 ML offers in 3 months with no CS degree, no masters, and no PhD. Okay. So there are people who get offers like this. Okay.
কিন্তু
I don't know
লেখার
this.
মতো কিছু নেই।
Huh?
আছে লিঙ্কডইন ঠিক প্রোফাইলে লেখার মতো কিছু নেই। আগে একটা কলেজ পাই ঠিকঠাক তারপরে না পাবে।
No, still kind of like I don't know, like randomly. So this guy. So what is education? Let it load.
আরে
Mm.
তোমার বন্ধু এ?
No, no, not my friend. I don't even follow him. No, I actually follow him. Oh wait. I think this is the guy. So this guy has education from, he has done a lot of internship in data science and all this. But I don't think his education is from data science, like in Sweden. Yeah, see this, uh, 90 part-time. What is his degree? He has not mentioned a degree. He's probably not in computer science. Like he probably got a lower branch and just kind from there. Okay. Mm, okay, let me see if I can find a. How do I check it? Okay, we'll find it later. But that's the thing. Like, you don't need a degree for it. Okay. But the other thing is way more difficult. You need to skill up. Well, whatever. That's the short form. Now let's continue. So this is the like the .csv format. You will see that all the main attributes, okay, columns are separated by commas. Okay, and you will see that this is one of the lines, and this line is has ended. Then you okay. Let me just do a little bit. Like if it zoom out a bit, you will see that after one line has ended, there is a new line. Okay, after one line has ended, there is a new line, and uh, this is how it looks. Okay, this is the ending of the line. This is the starting. This is the ending. So thus each and every line or rows are separated by new lines. Okay. Now in the code, the this new line basically means after every line they need to have a separation. Okay. So basically if we run it,
সিএসভি ফাইলের কাজটা কি?
CSV file is like a data file. Okay. I'm going to show you. Just give me a second. So okay, let's show you this. This whole file that you see, this is an experiment that we are running using LLMs, large language models. And CSV file helps us to put out the information in an ordered manner. Okay. So suppose you go here, I can basically take I can use pandas, which is another library in Python, and using pandas, I can take the article name and take the context, and I can pick out each and every attribute separately and do analysis. Okay. So you can see that I have created the users.csv. Then suppose I want to read the CSV. I can read the CSV like this. Okay, this is the data from the CSV. You can see that the CSV data has been properly printed. This is because we are printing it like this. User ID, name, age, and all this by checking out each row in the reader. So we are using a CSV.reader function. Okay. And it is reading it from the file, this file. This is users.csv for this file. Okay. And you can just print the header. So this is the header. And header means, how can I say this? This one. This first line. This is called header. You see this? This first line. Now let me show you the CSV here. CSV, yeah, users.csv. This is the CSV that has been created. Okay. It looks just like an Excel file. Okay. Now there is a better way of
এটা বানালে
reading
কি করে? তুমি এটা বানালে
this
কি
one.
করে এই ডেটা ফাইলটা সুযোগটা?
It first line. Import CSV.
উইথ ওপেন না দাঁড়া দাঁড়া উইথ ওপেন হ্যাঁ রাইটার ডট রাইট রোজটা কি করলো?
It
ও
it wrote.
আচ্ছা ও বুঝলো আচ্ছা না তোমাকে একটা কথা বলো ও বুঝলো কি করে যে রাইট রোজের যে হেডিংটা আইডি নেম এজ সিটিটা ওইগুলো হবে
Okay. Because that's CSV has a particular format. Okay. In this
হ্যাঁ
format, I'm
ওগুলো
showing it
ওগুলো
again.
ওগুলো ওগুলো নিয়ে নেবে তাই
Yes,
তো
yes, this will be the, yeah, the first line will always contain the attributes. Okay. This first line will always contain the attributes.
ওকে ওকে ঠিক আছে
Then you are reading a CSV using the CSV.reader function.
পিকেল দিয়ে
Okay.
তোমার করতে parí
Yeah,
ফাইল
pickle
দিয়ে
you can.
তুমি এটা বানালে
Pickle is different. The pickle is used for binary. Like that is different case. This is for this thing you need to use CSV.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
Okay, this is different. Pickle is different. Okay, yeah, pickle is different. Okay, now
হ্যাঁ
you are printing. You are printing out the information from the CSV file, and then we are printing it out as prettily as we can. Okay, basically you take the row, and you take the information that each row contain into user ID, name, age, and city. Okay, and these all remember that all the values are read as strings. So all of this will be read as string. You can see the type. Type is here string. Okay, you have printed the type as well. Okay, next. Then there is a better way of like reading into dictionaries with CSV dictionary reader. Okay, so you open a CSV, then instead of using the CSV.reader, which we use in this case, we are going to use CSV.dictionary reader. Okay, if I just run the command, it will output the same thing, but it makes the life easier because if it is loaded as dictionary as key value pair, then you can just do the indexing. No? You can directly call the index. You don't need to do this allocation. Do you get it? So is there any issue with this one?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you able to understand or are you feeling sleepy?
No, no. I'm not
Oh,
feeling sleepy.
by the way, we could like kind of create a discussion short while over how to do how to work in that and stuff. If you are ever like if you want any kind of information from me, in that case you can always ask. Okay.
কি কেসে বলো তো কি বললে বুঝলাম না
আমি বললাম যে তোরা আমার এই লিঙ্কডিন আর এই ডিগ্রি নিয়ে কথা হলো না, তো বললাম যে ওরা যদি
হ্যাঁ
কিছু
হ্যাঁ
এরকম টিপস থাকে করতে পারে।
আচ্ছা
So,
আচ্ছা ও
yeah. So feel free. Okay. Feel free. Don't worry. नेक्स्ट डिक्शनरी हो गया, देन बेसिकली वी कैन, या
ওরা তোমার কাছে কবে থেকে পড়ছে?
2 दिन হলো, student.
আরে 2 দিন হলো, ড্যাম।
Okay, like you can let me know about your personal life as well. I'm not going to say anything, don't worry. Now
ওকে।
let's continue with this thing. uh, yeah, so we have done this part, which is the reader. We have done the dictionary reader. Now this part basically tells you always to use
আচ্ছা
this
তুমি একটা
new
কথা
line.
বলো, আমি যদি ধরো নিউ লাইনটা যদি ধরো না দিই তো পুরো এরার খেয়ে যাবে?
কি লেখা আছে last line টা পড়ো, এই জায়গাটা পড়ো,
কোথায় লাস্ট টাইম? কোন জায়গাটা? বুঝতে পারছি না।
যেখানে কাজটা ঘুরছে।
ও ও, আচ্ছা কার সাথে? হ্যাঁ, টু প্রিভেন্ট এক্সট্রা ব্ল্যাঙ্ক। ও, বুঝেছি, ঠিক আছে। তা আমি তো উইন্ডোজ ইউজ করছি না।
Still it's better to do it. Better to do it.
অবশ্য স্কুলে তো উইন্ডোজ ইউজ করবো, ठीक है, ओके।
हम्म, so अगर तुझे जीवन में एरर नहीं खाना, तो फिर जिस ऐसा एरर जो that will confuse you from top to bottom. Okay, that you won't be able to understand कि क्या कर दिया जीवन में. So always that is like, ठीक है. Next, dictionary. I think this is a repeat. Okay. Yes, this is a repeat actually. No, no, no. Wait. Uh, yeah, okay. Sorry. Uh, so we can also use dictionary writer. Okay, we can use the dictionary reader. We can use dictionary writer as well. So in dictionary writer, instead of having a list of lists, you can have a list of dictionaries. Okay, see this thing. That's by the way. Do you know like this thing like where you have a dictionary row and then you have another dictionary row and this another dictionary row? This is nothing but a JSON-L file. This is nothing but a JSON file. Okay. Okay, JSON-L file is the same thing when you have dictionaries, Python dictionaries for each row. Okay, I'm going to show it, don't worry. And slowly it becomes from like coming from CSV, it becomes like JSON-L. Oh, by the way, I myself kind of like the JSON-L format for a lot of things. But yeah, sometimes CSV is also better. Whatever, both of them are good. Both of them are used in data science. Okay, they are used like massively used in data science. Now you can see that you can have or define the headers as here. Headers are basically the keys of the dictionary. Now you open the dictionary with your simple opening, like open command. You have used it multiple times for opening files. We can use it for opening dictionary, and always, hi, new line character, new line, do it. Okay. You won't have any errors in Linux. Like you will hardly have any errors in Linux, but for Windows, I can't get it. Really can't get anything for Windows. Then you basically do the writer, take the writer object, you create a CSV or dictionary writer, and you pass the field names. Then you basically write a header. This is a header row, means this thing. And yeah, header row basically means, okay, this first line. Okay, this first line you need to write. Okay, then what do? We just
আচ্ছা
wrote
তুমি যে
everything.
জিনিসটা দেখাচ্ছ আমাদের, ওইটা তো কোনো লাভই নেই দেখে আমার। আমার তো
কোনটা
ওটা তো দেখে কোনো লাভ নেই, ওটা কোনো বেকার জিনিস একটা।
কোনটা?
আরে এই যে তুমি একটু আগে যেটা দেখাচ্ছে না, আরে
হুম,
এর টেক্সট ভার্সনটা, এর টেক্সট ভার্সনটা,
কোন টেক্সট পার্সনটা?
আরে টেক্সট ফাইলটা,
ও টেক্সট
সিএসভির যে
ফাইলটা।
টেক্সট ফাইলটা,
হুম, মানে
তো
সিএসভি
ওটারও
ফাইলটা।
তো অ্যাজ সাচ কোনো ইউসেজ নেই, ওটা
না
শুধু সিএসভি
আছে,
ফাইল।
আছে
তো
মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি
এটা আচ্ছা তুমি বলো, তুমি আমাকে বলো এটা থেকে আমি কি বুঝতে পারছি? কিছুই তো বুঝতে পারছি না।
এটা দেখে তুই বুঝতে পারছিস আমি তোকে সিএসভি ফাইল দেখালাম ভাই, এখানে একটা ফরম্যাট আছে বলে তাই। এই যে সিএসভি যে এরকম করে তুই দেখছিস না আউটপুটটা,
হ্যাঁ
This is basically because of a plugin. This is because of an extension that I use. The extension that I use is this one, CSV, CSV Excel Viewer. Okay. Suppose if it is disable this, if I disable this, and
হ্যাঁ দেখি করো করো কি হয় দেখি।
I need to restart it, right? This
কি
is
রিস্টার্ট
VS
করতে হবে?
Code. I need to restart it, right? Uh, Let it load. Sometimes I hate this slow VS Code. VS Code, I would only use VS Code because uh, it makes, yeah, it has loaded the extensions, right? See the amount of time that VS Code takes to load up the extension. So much bloated.
না আমি তোমায় সেটাই বলছি, আমার আলটিমেটলি বেসিক্যালি ডেটা স্ট্রাকচারটা লাগে না, আমার ওইগুলো বানিয়ে কি লাভ? ওই ফাইলটা দেখে তো আমার কোনো লাভ নেই।
फाइल देखे देखालाम फाइल हम देखते हैं. If you don't know how the file looks, this is how the file looks. See this thing. This is how the file will open. Okay. That viewer that you
আচ্ছা
are
ভাই
seeing.
সিএসভি ফাইল করাও তো যা, আর আমি যদি এসকিউএল ও যদি ডেটা যে লিখি ডেটা হ্যান্ডলিং এ, তো ওটা একই তো লাভ, কি হবে এটা করে?
SQL is a relational database. Like this thing, like okay. SQL is a relational database handler, whereas CSV is more like spreadsheet. It doesn't have those relations. Okay.
মানে কি
It's
বলছো?
it is so strict. Excel file is right click away. In your Excel file, you can write whatever you want. But suppose
হ্যাঁ
in your SQL, you need to follow a particular structure. You cannot follow your domain constraints. Right?
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে।
So, and CSV is basically used for data, data frames. I'm going to show you. Just wait some time. I'm going there. So we have done inventory.csv. Let's run it again. Oh, CSV is not defined. We need to run all the commands once more. All the cell blocks once more. So here, see, this is how the inventory looks like. Okay, and because I have wrote it in dictionary and I've used dictionary writer, like it doesn't really make that much difference if you want to use dictionaries or if you want to use lists. This is just my job to show you that how many different ways you can create a CSV and how many different ways you can also read a CSV. Okay. Now suppose there are different dialects. Okay. Means suppose this is your data where you have name and score and then it is like Alice and Bob and you need to create a TSV. Okay. By the way, TSV is just like a CSV, but this is how to call this? TSV is like it uses tabs instead of like commas. Okay. So the delimiter is different. You will see you can have a delimiter which is basically a tab key. Backslash C means a tab. A tab key means how many spaces?
ও চারটে।
Four. Good. So if I just run it, a TSV file has been created. Okay. So let me show you the TSV file as well. This is the TSV file. You will see that instead of having commas, suppose I have the user instead of having commas, the TSV file will have tabs. Okay.
আচ্ছা একটা
Understandable?
জিনিস বলো, তুমি যে সিএসভি যে এজ আ ডিকশনারি যে তুমি ইনপুট দিলে, আমি তো ওটাকে নেস্টেড লিস্ট বা অন্য অন্য কিছু ফরম্যাটেও তো ইনপুট দিতেই পারি।
It's up to you now. Whatever you want to use.
ঠিক আছে।
I'm just showing you different way of doing it. That's it. Now finally, all the different methods of handling CSV are done. Then this is JSON lines or JSON file. Okay. Now the JSON lines are basically this thing when you have a lot of dictionaries inside a file. So if I just run this, I'm going to show you the JSON file. This is how a JSON file looks. It is basically Python dictionary stored in a file. Okay, these are all. This is how it looks. Okay, now suppose you want to read a JSON file, you can read a JSON file in a very okay. By the way, I never gone through the code, so you need to import JSON. Okay, you need to import JSON. Just like CSV, there is another module called JSON, and then you create a list of dictionaries, and then we open to import basically open the JSON file as writing mode in the writing mode, and then each entry in the log of JSON entries. So each entry means it will go to each list object. Okay, this is a list object, this is a list object, this is a list object. And then from those list object, you basically take the JSON string. You use JSON.dumps. Remember pickle.dump? This is also similar to that. You basically take a JSON string. And then you take the JSON string and you basically write it into the file. And then after writing one JSON string, that means taking one JSON string like this one, you add a new line character to it. And when you add a new line character to it, it becomes JSON lines. Okay. This is how the JSON line looks. Understandable? कोई problem है? Okay, so do you have any issues with this? Okay, we can go on and carry forward.
তুমি জেসানের
Hmm.
এক্সটেনশন তুমি জেসানের এক্সটেনশন দেখাও না, মানে পিএসবি গেমে তুমি এক্সটেনশন ডাউনলোড করবে সুন্দর করে দেখালে, তাই বলছি।
Yes, JSON হচ্ছে JSON এই যেটা dot JSON এর এক্সটেনশনের কথা
ওয়েট
বলছিস?
আমি এখন বাজে টাইপের।
থিম?
যাই হোক,
हाँ हाँ बोलो।
मैं अगर चाहूँ तो अभी लीव कर सकता हूँ।
हाँ you can leave, don't worry.
मेरा अभी वो हेडफोन डिस्चार्ज हो चुका और ये भी होने वाला है।
Battery dead.
हाँ, एंड माय लैपटॉप
Oh,
स्पीकर्स आर
okay, okay. Let me see how much battery even my phone. Let's go. Okay, I have 50% battery. Good enough. Okay, you can disconnect. Don't worry.
बाय सर।
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with
আচ্ছা
Jason.
ওদেরও তো আছে, এটা পাক চলে গেল কেন গো?
Hmm, I don't know. It's up to them. Even though they have this thing, even you don't have it. Okay. I'm just teaching. So they might feel like
আরে সিএসবি তো আছে, তুমি
CSP
এখন
to
ঢুকলে তো
হয়ে গেল
তুমি
না?
জেসান তো এই কিছুক্ষণ আগে ঢুকলে।
Yeah, Jason is not
এই
there in the syllabus, so it's something that I'm doing extra.
যাই হোক
Okay,
ছাড়ো।
you are
আরে
telling
ও কি
about
রাজেশ
changing.
স্কুলে পড়ে না ভালো ঠিকঠাক স্কুলে পড়ে, মানে
বলো তো
অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স যেটা ম্যাটার
না না
করে?
ভালো মানে তো ইয়ে আছে তো কি বলে ওটাকে
ভালো ইন দ্য সেন্স তুমি বলো ওদের কি অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স ম্যাটার করে?
হ্যাঁ অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স ম্যাটার পড়ে
সেটাই হচ্ছে ব্যাপার।
ইজ দিস গুড
ঠিক আছে,
ইজ দিস
কি
গুড
দিস গুড?
মানে এটা এই তিনটা
এর আগেরটা তো ঠিকঠাকই ছিল, এটাও ঠিকই আছে, খারাপ কিছু না।
ঠিক আছে এটা নিয়ে একটু ডার্ক সো এই যে এটা তো
হুম,
এরকম করেই দেখায় ডিসেন্ট এরকম দেখায় হোয়াট ক্যান আই ডু অ্যাবাউট
এই
দিস
টাইম স্ট্যাম্পটা কি গো?
ও আরে ভাই ইনফরমেশন দেখ না এরকম তো লেখা আছে যা
না
ইচ্ছে
তুমি
দিই
গ্রুপে এটা কি টাইম স্ট্যাম্প দিয়েছো?
oh this is 2023 10 27 timestamp is something like 10 in the morning 4 o'clock okay
মানে র্যান্ডম
something
যা
like that.
পেয়েছো তাই দিয়ে দিয়েছো একটা, যাই হোক ঠিক
Yeah.
আছে, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, গট ইট।
Next, after that, you can also read the JSON file. I have already shown that how you read it. You use JSON.loads, just like pickle.loads and dumps and just like the same. Okay, same. Chapni.
সিএসবি তে এসব লোড ফোড তো কিছু ছিল না?
CSV reader, dictionary reader, CSV
ও
reader.
টেক্সট রিডার, ও হো হো, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে।
Okay. Bhai, be careful. Remember the functions. Okay.
হ্যাঁ,
Next, writing to a
এটা
JSON
বিলকুল
file.
মাথায় থাকতো গো বাবা।
Then you basically again create a new JSON file using dictionaries And here what we are doing, we are just doing same thing. Like file dot write, JSON dumps, you add a well equivalent new line character, and then it's by just 3 lines of code and you are done.
তো
That's
আমাকে
it.
কি বলতো, আমার জেসন জেসন সিএসভি নিয়ে আমার কি, সিএসভি ঠিক আছে বুঝলাম, সিএসভি থাকা সত্ত্বেও আমার জেসনের কি দরকার আর?
Mm, both of these files are used for okay. JSON files are used for configurations. Okay. When you will be doing a lot of DevOps type of job, DevOps mean developer operations. Okay. And if you are going to do a lot of job in machine learning and natural language processing, you will find that there is an industry standard of two different files. One is either CSV and another is JSON or JSON. Okay, that's it.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
So you know, like I have a file which is around 100 GB of text data, just JSON. Okay.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
Now, why do I have it? Because I do a lot of machine learning tasks. That's why. Simple.
হুম।
Next, what
তো
do
তোমার
you
তোমার
have?
ইন্টার্নশিপ কেমন চলছে?
It is going like both corporate and stuff. I submitted the presentation and after doing that, Wednesday, like we were supposed to have a meeting. Currently, we are having no meeting. So for since Wednesday, I'm focusing on other projects. So yeah, currently I am having like 10 different projects. I just counted a few days ago.
হুম, ভালো।
So
হুম।
next we have advanced JSON. Okay, memory streaming and all this. And I don't think you want to go into this basically. But in the end, because they like JSON and decoder and all this warning and one error from. So I'm not going to go into this one. You don't need it.
ঠিক আছে।
Now, see, CSV means comma separated values and JSON means I actually good point. What's the full form of JSON? I forgot. JavaScript object description. Okay.
এই জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট জানো তো তোমার অর্ধেক আইসিএসসি ছেলেমেয়েরা জানে, অরিজিনাল
JavaScript
কম্পিউটার
জানে না।
পড়তেই হয় না।
ওরা JavaScript জানে না, ওরা জাভা জানে।
ওই জাভা জানে, ওই হ্যাঁ সরি।
দুটো different। Okay, যাই হোক।
হ্যাঁ জানি,
ঠিক
জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট
আছে।
হচ্ছে কি বলে, মার্কআপ টাইপ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, আর ওটা জাভাটা হচ্ছে জাস্ট প্রোগ্রামিং টাইপ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ।
মার্কআপ
তোমাকে
নয়,
সহজ জীবনে বলে
স্ক্রিপ্টিং
বললাম।
ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ।
ওই স্ক্রিপ্টিং, ওই
স্ক্রিপ্টিং
এইচটিএমএল মতো অনেকটা, ওয়েব ডিজাইনিং এর কাজে লাগে।
yes, correct. আমার ওয়েবসাইট বানাই তো। Currently I'm making a website for a company and stuff. So, whatever.
হুম।
Now, understand these are the differences between CSV and JSON, and just go through it. It's basically you might actually need it for your well, theory.
ইস,
Okay.
যাই হোক ঠিক আছে।
Just understand one important point that in CSV everything is a string. So you need to convert things which are like numericals from string to actual numericals. Okay. So that is it.
ওকে।
Okay. Now binary CSV. I wanted to do one more class on data frames. Basically Python data frames when you import
আচ্ছা তুমি আমাকে
pandas.
একটা জিনিস বললে যে ম্যাট্রিক্সের, আমি তো ম্যাট্রিক্সের একটা হোমওয়ার্কটা নিয়ে জাস্ট তোমাকে কথা বলছি। তুমি আমাকে বলেছিলে যে ডিটারমিনেন্টের সলিউশন বাই ক্রেমার রুল বার করতে। তুমি
Uh,
ওইটা যেই কাজটা দিয়েছিলে সেটা হচ্ছে লিমিটেড নাম্বার অফ মানে লিমিটেড অর্ডার অফ
three
ম্যাট্রিক্সের
cross
জন্য
three.
আমাকে
Three
তুমি
cross
বলেছিলে
three.
এনএট অর্ডার, ঠিক আছে? তো
Yeah.
এবার আমি তো থ্রি অর্ডারের ওপর ফোর্থ অর্ডার বা ফিফথ অর্ডারের ক্রেমার কি করে সলভ করতে হয় আমি তো জানি না। তো আমি
কিন্তু বললাম
লজিক্যাল
না
হবো কি করে
recursion,
তাহলে?
recursion. So you will
রিকার্সনটা কি?
understand. So recursion আগে দিন বললাম না যে কিভাবে তোর দেখাচ্ছি। So basically 4 cross 4 ম্যাট্রিক্স সলভ করা মানে কি? তিনটে 3 cross 3 ম্যাট্রিক্স সলভ করা। এই যে দেখ 4 cross 4 সলভ করা মানে তিনটে 3 cross 3 সলভ
আরে
করা।
ওটা তো সেই
হ্যাঁ, এরকম করেই করতে হবে, ঠিকই ভাবছিস।
তো এরাম করলে তো হয়ে গেল, ঠিক আছে, বুঝে গেছি। যাও।
তাহলে ফাইভ ক্রস ফাইভ কি
তাহলে
হবে?
তুমি আমাকে বলছো এন ক্রস এন এর জন্য তো লজিক ভাবতে গেলে পুরো এল লেগে যাবে। যাই হোক, ঠিক আছে, দেখছি।
আরে n ক্রস n মানে কি? n মাইনাস n ডিটারমিনেন্ট বার করতে হবে, n মাইনাস n মানে কি? n মাইনাস টু বার করতে হবে, n মাইনাস টু মানে কি? n মাইনাস থ্রি বার করতে হবে। তো এরকম করতে করতে লাস্ট দিকে টু ক্রস টু ম্যাট্রিক্স বার করলেই তো হয়ে যায় না? অনেকগুলো জাস্ট টু ক্রস টু ম্যাট্রিক্স বার করতে হবে, বাস হয়ে গেল।
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, দেখছি।
চাপে কিছু
ঠিক
নাকি
আছে, যাও।
ভাই? কিছু চাপে না, মানে একটু ভাবলি হয়ে যায়।
ঠিক আছে,
আমি
ঠিক
ভাবছি
আছে,
at this
দেখছি।
point ও যতটা জানে I can divert this homework, কিন্তু যদি ভাই একটা
ও
ক্লাস
এত
সেভেন,
টাইম পাচ্ছে কি করে করার? ও ইলেভেনে কি মানে কি কি মানে কি এখনো কি মানে মেজরে ঢোকেনি নাকি পড়াশোনাতে?
না he is also doing offline classes with Alan and also this on মানে Alan করে নাকি বিয়াল্লিশ করে ভুলে গেছি, বিয়াল্লিশ করে না আমি ঘুরতে যাচ্ছি যে তার সাথে সাথে এইগুলো করছে, মানে কম্পিউটার কাজ করছে, সব yes he is doing both of them.